What up, y'all? I'm back with another one. It's a little windy out here, so pardon me if I don't know if my microphone is picking up a lot of wind. But I want to talk to you guys about one of the reasons why you never get to the level of success that you're really trying to get to. Right now, there are multiple reasons in which I've addressed some of them in some of my other videos. Matter of fact, recent videos. But one of the reasons why you never get where you're trying to go is because it ain't easy. It's hard. We look at people who are in places and in spaces that we might want to be in, and we just look and it's like, oh man, I want to do this or I want to do that, or because I mean, let's be honest, most of us aren't just the first ones at doing what it is that we want to do or we actually like to do or whatever the case is. Y'all get what I'm trying to say? We might look at something and say, yo, that looks cool, or that looks like, you know what I'm saying, something I could do, or something that, I would like to do, or it looks interesting, let me give it a shot, or whatever. Most of us are just not the first ones to do what it is that we want to do, right? We come up with an idea and it's like, yo, that's cool. But for the most part, somebody else might be already doing it, right? It might be a space where a lot of people are not doing it. And so we can put our own spin on it or whatever. But for the most part, right, we're pretty much doing something that somebody else might be doing. We're just putting our own unique spin on it, right? And there's nothing wrong with that, okay? Look, there are plenty of car companies out there, right? Each car is unique in its own way. It has its own look. It has its own feel. It has its own name. It has its own, whatever it is. For the most part, most cars are the same, right? They got four wheels. They got doors. They got an engine, a transmission, interior, sunroof, stereo, whatever. But each one of them in its own way is just a little bit different. So it's pretty much the same thing, right? But here's the thing. A lot of us never reach the goal or the point that we're trying to reach simply because it's hard. A lot of us are not built to push through and, as they say, persevere through the good, the bad, and the ugly. A lot of times when you start and you're doing something new, you're going to be down. You are going to be down at the bottom for a long time. You're going to be putting in a whole lot of work before anything takes off. And unfortunately, a lot of people are not built to persevere and get through that bottom. You know what I'm saying? That phase where you're putting in a whole lot more work than you're getting back in reward. You get it? You grind it all day, all night. You started a business. You in the hole. You had to maybe borrow money. You had to buy equipment. You're not getting clients. You're not getting customers. You understand what I'm saying, right? You started a business, a simple business. You wanted to just, something simple, cut grass. And then now that's not really working out because you still got a full-time job. You're trying to cut grass on the weekends. The other companies or the other landscapers or the lawn maintenance guys got everything on lock. The only clients you can get only want to pay you pennies on the dollar. And, y'all get what I'm trying to say, right? Anybody that has tried to start a business or be successful in something, move up in a company or whatever, you know that it takes a lot of hustle, a lot of muscle, a lot of mental. You need a huge mental capacity. Y'all get what I'm trying to say. It's not easy. That's all that I'm trying to say. And I mean, a lot of people just kind of give up. They lose that passion. They lose the drive that they have for the particular thing simply because it's hard. And you're not getting the reward that you thought that you were going to get. Let me explain something to you, okay? When you look at somebody and they, for the most part, are at some point where you recognize them for what it is that they're doing, trust and believe, they put in a lot of work. They put in a lot of work behind the scenes. It does not happen overnight, and it's not easy. Stop giving up so fast. You got to grind. You got to put in that work. If it's something that you really believe in, you got to keep pushing. You got to be up when everybody else is asleep. You got to sleep when everybody else is up. You got to lose sleep. Y'all get what I'm trying to say? You're gonna lose sleep, you're gonna lose money, you're gonna lose time, you're gonna lose friends, you're gonna lose resources, you're gonna lose a whole lot. You know what I'm saying? You might lose a piece of your mind in the process. But I'm telling you right now, anything worth having, for the most part, is worth working for. It just is what it is. That's just the way it works, man. You don't just wake up one day with an idea and it just pops. It does not happen like that. You gotta grind. You gotta put in that time. It just is what it is. All right. So y'all gotta stop giving up, man. Stop being so what's the word I'm looking for? Like entitled, and thinking that, oh, I got a couple. You know how many people lose money by investing in they're investing in a business or starting a business, buying all this equipment, buying machinery, doing this and doing that, and blah blah blah, and then can't use the machine, and they mess up something one or two times, and then, oh, that's it, I'm not doing it no more. Um, it happens. No matter what business you're in, you're gonna mess up. You're gonna make mistakes. There's a learning curve. I started a business. When I first started, I had no clue what it was that I was doing. Did I mess up in the beginning? Yes. Did I mess up multiple times? Yes. Did I have to stay up late in order to beat out my competitors? Absolutely, 100%. Did I have to? Man, I listen. It just was what it was. You know what I'm saying? I had to get out there and grind. I had to get out there and for the most part, sometimes, do work for less than what the going rate is, just to, gain a customer later on, or whatever the case is, man. I had to stay up and study. I had to do all kind of stuff, man, in order for my business to get just at a halfway point. You know what I'm saying? Just at a point where, the name of my company was recognized by other people. Y'all get what I'm trying to say? A lot of you guys out there trying to brand yourselves. A lot of you guys out there just doing whatever it is that you're trying to do. But you have to understand that you have to put in the work. You got to stay up late. You got to put in that work. You got to grind. You got to be willing to do what the other people aren't willing to do. You're going to have to miss a meal here and there. Matter of fact, you're probably going to have to miss a meal every single day. So instead of 3 meals a day, you got to drop down to 2. That's it. You don't get lunch. You get breakfast and dinner, or you got to give up breakfast and all you got is lunch and dinner. You understand what I'm saying? There's going to be some times when all you got is lunch, man. You're going to go to sleep hungry. It is what it is, man. You got to put in that time. You got to put in that work, man. Stop feeling like you're entitled just because you knew somebody, or just because you had, startup money, and you got to keep grinding. Listen, let me tell you something. You see this in certain industries all the time, especially in entertainment, right? You see what they have them, what they call them, one-hit wonders. You know what I'm saying? They pop off and it's like, oh yeah, I made it. And then after that, you never hear from them again. Why? Because they think they made it. They think that they had to stop grinding. It came out with a hit song, you know what I'm saying, and made some money, or maybe didn't make no money because of the contract that they signed, or they had to pay back money that they borrowed, or whatever the case is. But they stopped grinding because they felt like, yo, I made it. And, you just going to fall back, and then everything is going to keep coming in. No, you got to keep grinding. Anybody that continues to remain relevant year after year after year after year, they're working year 10 and grinding year 10 the same way, if not more, than the way they grinded year 1. Some people grind year 1, year 2, or year 3, year 4, get a little bit of results, and then they start laying back at year 4, and year 5, you don't see them no more. Year 5, you don't see them anymore. And the reason why you don't see them year 5 anymore, because their year 5 is somebody else's year 4 when they're having their breakthrough. So now when they're laid back and they took their foot off the gas, that other person who was grinding, you know what I'm saying, 2 or 3 years behind them, now, they popped off, and now they still got their foot on the pedal. You know what I'm saying? When you get to a certain point, man, where you can ease up a little bit, but you still got to keep grinding. But a lot of y'all, man, never get to the point where you can ease up a little bit because you gave up on the grind too fast. You gave up on the grind too early. You got to push, man. It's gonna have good days. You're gonna have bad days. Trust and believe you're gonna have way more bad days than you are good days. But you keep stacking those bad days, and you'll eventually start stacking those good days. Trust and believe. Stop giving up, man. Believe in yourself. A lot of you guys don't believe in yourself. You know what I mean? You start one thing. Man, listen, I know a guy who has started 100 different things and completed them. Every time I see him, I'm like, man, how that thing working out? Man, I do something else, man. You know what I'm into? Just all over the place, right? And there's nothing wrong with that because it's going to take you a while to find what it is that interests you. You know what I'm saying? After a while, it's going to take you time to figure out, what it is that really, grabs your attention in a way that, yeah, okay, I'm willing to push through this grind. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times too, man, one of the things that you got to understand is that you can't do it by yourself, man. You got to have somebody in your corner some way, shape, or form. Even if they're not helping you directly with the business or the thing that you're doing, maybe they could take some ease off you. You know what I'm saying? Another way, guys, listening, I'm going to tell you right now, man, if you're around the wrong people, I'm talking about friends, I'm talking about family, I'm especially talking about the woman that you're in a relationship with, I'm telling you right now, because it just is what it is, man. Sometimes, and I've experienced this, man. Sometimes, man, you could just do it better when you're in a space where you don't have to look out necessarily like for anybody else. If you get what I'm saying, I'm not telling you married guys to go out there and get a divorce so that you can start your business. Don't go out there and tell your old lady, hey man, we gotta get a divorce, man, because Lucky said I could do it better and I can get further on my own. But a lot of times, man, I'm telling you, when you by yourself, man, that distraction, which is that woman, and it's not her fault, right? It's not her fault. A woman is a distraction for the most part for us, right? Even if she's the woman that supports all your dreams, goals, and aspirations, man, sometimes she can become a distraction. Now, hopefully you're in a situation where you got that woman that's gonna hold you down no matter what, and she understands that you can't be here and you can't be there because you grinding out and you doing this and you doing that and blah, 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 man. You know, if you're in that situation, man, kudos to you, man. But a lot of y'all guys are not in that situation. You have to be able to recognize that I'm not in that situation. I have to do something about it. But back to what I'm talking about, guys. Y'all got to stop giving up too early, man. I'm telling you right now, when you see people that are at certain levels, right, or at least they look like they're at certain levels, because there are a lot of people out here that aren't at the level that you think they are, right? You're looking at them and you're like, man, I want to get to that level based on their image, right? What it is that you perceive it to be, and they're really not that. You understand what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people didn't necessarily just like blow up overnight, but it looks like they did. That's two situations. Number one is the person who grinded all day in the dark, and then when they came to light, it looked like they blew up overnight because you just heard of them yesterday, and then when you Google them or whatever, you're looking around and it's like, oh man, they're all over the place, but you didn't know that they was putting in work 5-10 years prior to that, right? And then there's the one who's just, they fake, right? You look at them, they look like they got themselves all put together, but then when you look around, that's it. That's all you see is what it is right there. But you can't. They ain't got no credentials. They ain't got no background. They ain't got nothing. They just had a little money to buy a nice fancy suit and some nice clothes and a nice car, whatever, because they work. But they making it look like, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people are on this idea where you fake it until you make it, right? That's not, why would you fake it? Why would you do that, right? Because once you start doing that and people start getting attention because they're faking it, it's just like, yo, I might as well just keep faking it because I'm getting attention. In my opinion, you should not fake it until you make it. In my opinion, if you fake it, you're probably never gonna make it, right? Just be who you are, grind it out as best you can, and stick with it. Stop giving up too early, man. It's not easy. It's gonna take a long time to get where you're trying to get. That's all I want y'all to know, man. Stop giving up so early, man. Please stop giving up so early. Stay in the game, man. Keep pushing, man. Sometimes you got to pivot, right? Sometimes you're doing one thing and you're like, oh, okay, you know what? This right here is, I see this right here and this is a little bit different. Let me go ahead. That's fine if you got to pivot. You know what I'm saying? You got to know when it's like, okay, this ain't, I like this better, or this is another aspect, or this is another direction that I can do. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with pivoting and going another direction. But what I'm saying is, if you want to really listen, man, working for years and years and years, man, man, it's really not the thing. Some people are okay with it, and that's cool, man. You get a job that you like, and you just go to work every day or whatever, man. If you're okay with that, then cool, man. But if you're not okay with that, and you want to do, I don't want to say do more, because I don't want to make it seem like somebody who works all their life is any less than somebody who starts a business or becomes a brand or whatever like that. But if you're whichever one you want to be, that's what you push for. If you want to be a 9 to 5 worker and just work and, you know what I'm saying, make good money and be okay with that, to be okay with that. If you want to be an entrepreneur, start a business, build a brand or whatever it is, go ahead and do that. You know what I'm saying? Just know that it's not going to be easy, man. Stop giving up. So and listen, man, you got to surround yourself around good people. I touched on that a little bit, man. You got to surround yourself surround yourself with people that for the most part are going in the same direction as you. It might not necessarily be in the same craft. It might not necessarily be the same industry or anything like that. But if you can get yourself around people who are at least like-minded, grind-minded, right, focus-minded, they're going somewhere. They're trying their best to get somewhere. You surround yourself with people like that. Don't surround yourself with people that aren't, for the most part, trying to go in the same direction that you're trying to go. Because I'm telling you, they are a distraction and you're going to get pulled back. Surround yourself with people that are trying to be something if you're trying to be something. If you're trying to be an entrepreneur and they're trying to be an entrepreneur, it doesn't even necessarily mean that you're trying to start the same business, but they just have the entrepreneurial mindset. And that mindset, I'm telling you, whatever the mindset is, man, it doesn't matter if you play sports. It doesn't matter if you want to be a entertainer. It doesn't matter. Whatever it is that you want to be, man, you got to surround yourself with like-minded people, people who think like you. Don't have to necessarily be the same business or the same industry or anything, but just people who think like you. All right? Stop giving up so quick, guys. I'll catch you on the next one. Y'all be good.